How many of you would love to learn how to make hamburger buns? As a matter of fact, the process is fairly easy. Once you get our steps down to our recipe, you'll learn how to make these whole wheat hamburger buns like a pro. Let's get started. Okay, so first we're going to take our whole wheat flour, measure it out. We're going to put this into our KitchenAid stand mixer. Next, we're going to take our bread flour, and I find mixing whole wheat flour with the bread flour gives it the perfect texture and taste to your whole wheat buns. We're going to go ahead and put that into our stand mixer as well. I just love how these buns come out. Trust me on this one. You're going to love this recipe. And next we're going to go ahead and take our salt. And we're going to take our yeast. And we're just going to give this a good whisk here in our mixer. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and melt some butter in the microwave. Okay, we're going to put water in the melted butter, and we're going to put some whole milk as well. And what we're going to do is we're going to heat this back up in the microwave because you want the liquid warm, but you don't want it hot because it will kill the yeast. So we're going to heat this, maybe a little bit at a time, maybe 10 to 15 seconds at a time. And you can just check it, dip your finger in there, it's warm. And we're going to whisk in 3 tablespoons of honey into this milk, butter, and water. And we're just going to whisk this around. And adding the honey just gives it a lot more flavor. Okay, so we're going to create a well in our dry ingredients. And we're going to put our liquid in there, as well as 1 egg. And we're going to mix this on high speed for 2 to 3 minutes. I'm going to use this spatula and kind of scrape down the sides so we can make sure that all the ingredients are incorporated. Okay, so after mixing the dough, it should be tacky but not wet. We're going to lightly flour our surface. And we're just going to put a little bit of extra flour into it because we're going to use that as we knead the dough. And we're going to scrape this down and scoop. Get the dough out of the mixer. And like I said, the dough should be tacky but not wet. Now we're going to flour our hands and we're going to knead the dough for 6 to 8 minutes. And as you knead, you can re-flour your surface and your hands as you need to kind of help make the dough more manageable because it is very tacky. But you want to make sure that you don't add too much extra flour or your dough will be dry. Okay, so after you have kneaded your dough, just form it into a ball, and we're going to take some olive oil, just a little bit, and we're going to baste this bowl with it. So that way it'll help the dough not stick to the bowl as it rises. And we're going to go ahead and place the dough in here, and I'm just going to roll it around a little bit in the oil. We're going to cover this with saran wrap and let it rise for an hour to an hour and a half. And you want to make sure to place it in a warm environment. You can use the stove. I typically use the stove because we usually keep our home pretty cool in here. But if you have other areas, feel free. It just needs to be in a warm environment. Uh-oh, saran wrap's not cooperating. There we go. Okay, so the dough has doubled in size, and it only took about an hour, so that's why we like to use the instant yeast, less wait time. Now we're going to just deflate the dough, get all the air out, and it should come right out. Okay, so next we're going to just take a rolling pin, and we're just going to roll it out into a nice little rectangle. 8 by 12 will do. About half inch thickness or so. You just don't want it too thick. Now we're going to take a 6-inch straight edge cookie cutter, round, and I'm just going to start doing this, and I'm going to twist and turn it. Press it in, twist and turn, and you'll get a nice little circle. Because you want to make sure that they're nice and even. Push down, twist, turn. See how many buns we can get out of this one. Tends to vary sometimes, depending how much you roll it out. The most I've gotten was 14. Okay, and then so right there it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to take the remainder of the dough, and I'm just going to put it back into a ball, and I'm going to roll it out again and do the same process. And do that over and over, repeat those steps until there's no dough left. Okay, so that has given us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, extra one, so a pack of 12 plus 1. See, you get a little more bang for your buck. Okay, so now we're going to take each bun, and you can use your hands for this, but I find it easier just to do it with the rolling pin. And you're just going to roll this out as much as you can to a flat circle. Just like that. And you're going to take the edge and you're going to fold it into the center all around. See? Just all towards the center. You're going to do that around the whole shape of circle of dough. And then it'll be just like that. And we're going to flip it. And we're going to kind of press it inwards and kind of shape it into a nice circle so where a dome is facing you. See how that looks? Like a pretty dome. And then we're going to turn it over and we're going to pinch any holes or crevices because you don't want anything like that showing. And we're going to shape it a little bit more. It should look just like that. And then we're going to take our spatula, a flat spatula, or whatever you may have, spray some Pam on the back of it, or whatever type of cooking spray you may have. You're just going to press it down a little bit. So that way it don't come out all round, like too round, and it'll help spread it out a little bit, your buns. Should look like that. And we're going to place it on our pan. Now we have a pan and we just sprayed it with Pam and flour. That's all we use. But if you have parchment paper, by all means, go ahead and line it with parchment paper. And we're going to place these not too far apart, but just enough to where they have space to rise or whatnot. Now they may connect a little bit and that's okay, but if you obviously want them a little more round all the way around, then place them a little bit further apart. But I'm trying to put them all in one pan, so. Okay, and so see, they're all nicely shaped. I tried to get them as evenly shaped as I could. Now you want to cover them, but cover them in a way where as they rise, it doesn't touch the top of whatever is over it. Because once you go to take it off, it'll deflate your buns actually, and you don't want that. Trust me, that's happened to me a couple times. So what I usually do, because I don't have an actual lid for this pan, I usually just use the same pan, and it has enough depth to where I flip it over, and it fits just like that. So that's my lid. So that's a nice hack. That's a nice hack. Thank you, hubby, for discovering that. And I'm gonna place this over here on our stove. Actually, the stove is preheated, so they can rise for about another hour, or until they've doubled in size, until the bun size that you're looking for or desired. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and check these, and they have rose for a good 40 minutes. Ours didn't take an hour. And we're going to cook these in the oven at 350 degrees for 13 to 14 minutes. And make sure that you have your butter, to melt some butter, so you can baste butter on the top of the buns. All right, and these will cook for a good 13 minutes. And look at those. They came out really well, as you can tell. And we're going to just go ahead and baste them, the tops of them, with some butter. It'll give it that nice glistening effect as well. All right, and we're going to let them cool for about a minute or two before we put them on our cooling racks. I'm going to pull one of them apart, and look at that, a nice round hamburger bun. And I'm just going to cut and slice into this so I can show you what the inside looks like. And look at that. And there's a nice hamburger bun. It's nice, it's soft. And typically I let them cool before a little bit, for about 10 minutes before cutting into it, but I was so excited to show you all our homemade buns. So I cut one while it's hot. But be careful if you do that, because they're piping hot. And also, if you don't need all these buns, these will work in the freezer. Just cover them with some saran wrap and put them in a freezer bag. You know, and they should store for a few months actually. And also, or you can just put them in a bread box, and that should help keep them nice and fresh. And they last for about a week. So you want to eat them up by then, because you don't want, obviously, mold and things like that starting to grow on them, because they are homemade fresh buns. Also, as days go on, obviously, since they are made from homemade, they'll get less soft as time goes on. So what you want to do is just cover it with the microwave cover on a plate, heat it up for about 30 seconds, and they'll be good as new. Nice and soft again. All right, if this video was at all helpful to you, I ask that you give us a thumbs up and hit that like button. Also, comment down below and let us know what you think. Are you going to try this whole wheat buns recipe? Ring that notification bell so you'll be notified when our videos come out. If you're in the baking mood, don't forget to check out our whole wheat bread, or just enjoy some of our latest video uploads.